Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of DebtAintMyDaddy. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is LJ Young and I'm a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see. I help them financially see outside of what I call the debt matrix. The debt matrix is a place where I lived for the first 40 years of my financial life, doing everything everybody else is doing, and credit wasn't anything. I had to have good credit. I had to have large credit lines. Love to tell people what I could finance. Love to tell people I didn't have to put any money down on a finance product. All that. I believed in it. Little did I know, only thing I was doing every time I financed something, I was giving away my future earnings. Money that I haven't even earned yet. I was signing it away for 72 months, 30-year mortgage, all that stuff. It's all the same, right? All right. So now that I'm on the other side, I will be unlike any financial advisor you probably come across. Look at me as the medium between living in the debt matrix and trying to work your way over to the debt-free world. I'm right here. For the young adults going from 29s in their 30s, they're probably having the pressure of they have to be somewhere. They have to have a house now. This is the time to have the children. This is because you hear and see everybody around you doing the same things. But yet when it's time to get a house, you really have no money to buy the house. But yet if you finance it, you believe you're a homeowner. That's what the majority of the people in the debt matrix do. I promise you. Listen to what I'm saying. And all you got to do is so I don't sound crazy to you, because I know it sounds crazy, right? But if you trust your own math, you will understand. Okay? So this is the easiest way to determine if you're financially ready for a house, okay? This is the master formula. Add up all your debt. Add it all up, including the ones you don't believe you should pay, the student loans you don't believe you'll ever pay off. Add those in. Then I want you to do this. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have for a house. Punch it in the calculator. Punch it in the calculator. Now all you got to do is believe it. All you got to do is believe it. Now, so this is what I want to help you with, okay? This is how you prepare. Do it on your own. It's really not that hard. Get all 3 credit reports. Add up all your debt. Put it on a piece of paper, okay? Put it on a piece of paper. Put the amount of savings you have. Not anything financed, just cash money for now. Cash money, nothing else. Nothing financed, no equity in a house, no equity in a financed house. If you own the house, yes, but equity in no, don't worry about all that. Cash minus debt equal how much money you have in your life. Write it down on a piece of paper. This is the purpose of that piece of paper. When you go to buy a house, now these people they're in business. They're willing to sell you a house. Nothing wrong with the person trying to sell you a house. The realtor, I'm not saying business is business, but with you armed with this piece of paper, you'll probably come across the ones that may be truthful, maybe not. And this is how you determine that. Take this piece of paper with you, right? And I've heard people saying, hey, you know what? I know you have $100,000 in student loan debt, but if you hold off on that, take that money, invest in the house appreciates, and then you can take that money and pay it back. This is what I want you to do, because some people will try to confuse you like that. That's a tactic. That's a confusion. This is all I want you to do. When they're done with their whole spiel to you, what the different ways you could get into this house to be a homeowner, this is all I want you to do. You take that piece of paper and point it to them, and you say, hey, is my math correct? Now, they might even try to do it again, try to do some fancy talk. This is what I want you to do. When they start going into the fancy talk, all this percentages and numbers and appreciation, this is what I want you to say. Excuse me, can you stop for a minute? Can you pull out your calculator? And I want you to put in these numbers that's on my piece of paper into your own calculator and hit equal. I want to see if the numbers in your calculator that you punch in yourself match the numbers that is on this piece of paper. And if it's numbers, by the way, they're going to have to say yes, okay? It's no secret. The numbers are going to match, and they're going to have to say yes, those numbers match. If those numbers match, that's all you need to care about. Math does not lie. Math doesn't care. It doesn't have feelings. Don't involve your feelings in the math. All you have to do is believe those numbers. Because if you go into trying to buy a house without believing these numbers, that entity, that business, they're going to know, they already know, you don't believe those numbers because they definitely know the numbers. Hence, that's why they run your credit report to see your full credit report, and they know how much debt you're in. And if you don't believe those, if you don't believe you're in that much debt, who are they to tell you otherwise? That's business. Get it? This advice I'm telling you, young people, if you believe what I'm telling you, it will change your financial life forever. I know the things I say, like this one. I'm going to tell you something that sounds it sounds rude, but it's really not. Never take advice from somebody that has student loans that are older than their children. Now, some of you might hear and say, man, that dude is rude. But then ask yourself mathematically, why do I think that sounds rude when it's true? Let me punch that in my calculator. Yeah, it's true. Why do I think it's rude again? Question yourself. Catch yourself like that. That's a glitch. That's a glitch in the debt matrix. That's something that doesn't make sense, but yet you never question why. That's it. You get what I'm saying? That's how it works. So now that you're armed with people trying to help you invest, same thing if you go with a financial investor, you can figure out the same way if they're really for your true interest or they're not. Write down, bring that piece of paper with you. And if that financial advisor says, hey, do this instead of that, don't pay off this, do this and invest in here and then get the interest, then you bring up that piece of paper and say, this is all you have to say. Is the math on this piece of paper right? That's all you got to say, I promise you. Is that right? He has to say yes. But if he starts fancy talking, you say, excuse me, sir, pull out your calculator and input these numbers exactly the way I have on this piece of paper into your calculator with your own hand. I guarantee you the numbers are going to match. If you're in the negative, you have no money to invest in anything outside yourself.